Welcome to First Things First. I'm Brooke Blurton. My pronouns are she and her.
I'm Matty Mills. My pronouns are he and him. And before we get started, we'd like to acknowledge the custodians of the land on which we record. And for both of us today, it is the Gadigal People of the Eora Nation.
Yes. All right, let's jump into it. So on TikTok, there's like these trends, right? And I jump on, I love a good bandwagon. But there is this trend where there's little kids, so like ages from like 0 to like 8, where they're allowed to cuss, but they're only allowed to cuss in the bathroom.
Oh.
And so the mum or the parents or whatever, like basically say to the kids, look, you're allowed to say the naughty words, but only in this bathroom.
Okay.
I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave you to cuss, say whatever, get it all out of your system. But you can only say it in this bathroom, and then when we go out, you're not allowed to say it. And the kids are like, nah, this is a trick. But they say it. And
What
so
do
there
they
was
say?
I watched, like, you need to go down this bandwagon, but there's this little kid and he's like, fuck, shit, asshole. Like, he's just like, that's what it sounded like
my gosh.
before. So they actually cuss and they get it out. And I was like, wow, so kids are actually listening, like, to us.
Yeah. Were you a big swearer when you were young? Did you swear a lot?
I actually didn't. Maybe at my brother's, but I need to get better because obviously at work I try not to swear. But
do you like swearing? Like, what's a good swear word that you like to just get out?
I just say fuck too much.
Yeah.
I need to not. Like, if I do a script, like a reading of a script and I stuff it up, I'm immediately not like shit. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
So, like, the amount of times where someone has edited my work and been like, you say fuck, like, too many times. I'm like, fuck, fuckity fuck.
Funnily enough, I swore on air once, and it was, so we were recording the news.
You swore on air?
Didn't go live.
Oh,
so we were
okay.
doing like it was as live though.
Yeah,
so
okay.
everything was like recording and we were halfway through the bulletin and I fucked up something and I went, fuck. And we had to redo the whole thing. But like if we were live,
that would have went to air. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at not swearing when I'm
actually
at work,
talking about air. I actually was in the airport this morning and I actually crossed paths with G Flip, and they said that they were performing live on a show
Nova
soon.
Red Room.
Yeah, and they were
Yes.
freaking out, and I was like, "Just be you, like you're you, like just slay the game, like
Slay the game.
like, and I was thinking, wow, how many times I've been on live air and I've been so, I think the scariest thing is when you're talking about things that are really deep.
Yeah.
But other than that, like if you're just talking about banter and stuff, it's fine.
Wait, didn't G Flip just get married?
Like, yeah,
A little while ago.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
eloped, right?
Yes,
Where,
yes.
In Vegas? Am I getting this right?
I actually don't know the full story. I never
How do you
know.
feel about it?
What are you trying to get at, bro? What is he trying to get at?
Well, are there any lingering
the
feelings?
love of my life was at the airport today, and fuck,
No, but do you, I mean, you had a moment with G Flip.
We did, but
Yeah.
I went to do The Bachelorette. So
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. I let that go. I let it go.
Let it
you
go.
know? Let it go.
I mean,
let it go.
do you think about G Flip often?
Can you not? Talking about weddings and talking about editing, I recently did a job, obviously, with Big Tinder Wedding.
Yeah. Big Tinder Wedding.
This is not a plug. I feel like this whole experience, which has gone on for like a year, has been such a huge career moment and life moment for me to be in like a more presenting and hosting space, but also like the meaning of what it all. Like, these people met on Tinder. Like, love stories actually exist out of, like, dating apps. You think, like,
How common
Tinder
are
is just
they?
a hookup.
Really, how common is it to
Apparently
find
they had
your
so many
soulmate on an
applications.
application?
They really did have so many applications. And people that I've spoken to in the queer community have said, oh, we were actually going to apply for that.
Okay.
And then some people have already got married, so the timing didn't work. That's fine. But, like, people actually have, I mean, back in the day, I guess, like, if you're getting married, you would have thought that, you'd probably have, like, a few years maybe under your belt. But some of these couples were, like, together for 6 months and we're like, you know what? We're going to get married. Like, we want to do it, so let's do it. Why not get it for free?
That happens in the celebrity world a lot, right? It's, you see these couples together for a short amount of time and then they're engaged within 6 months, married within a year. Why doesn't that happen sort of for everyday people? What do you think? There's too much pressure there? Like, as
Wouldn't
a celebrity?
there be more pressure as a
Well, that's
celebrity?
what I mean. Is there more pressure to be engaged and make it official through marriage? But you see that a lot. Like, people get married quickly when they're famous.
I feel it. I mean, this time was so different, like, being on a campaign like this, because I'm not the one that they're talking about, like, as in I'm not the love story. Like, they're not trying to get my love story. I'm actually trying to pull their love story from them and make, this production type moment for them, but also they're getting married, so they have to. So like, I had cameras. I know I've kind of been in their shoes in a way that, like, they're sharing an experience. They're, like, loving one another throughout this whole experience. Obviously, they're walking towards their big day, which is kind of like the Bachelorette. Like, you end up at the end of the big day and you do the commitment ceremony.
Okay.
But, like, and so I've been on the other side of that. So then this was, like, a nice, like, refreshing moment for me in my career to be like, oh, the pressure's off. Like, it's like,
what was your role in the campaign? You were hosting the show?
I was chief maid of honour.
Oh, I love it.
I know. So I kind of helped with the love story part, I guess, helping them pull all their stuff together on the day. I mean, getting to know the couples was probably the highlight.
Yeah.
Will and Monty met obviously through Tinder. They're a huge, like, music family. One's Torres Strait, one's Māori, and, like, the weddings, I can't wait for the episodes to come out because they'll be coming out slowly. But the wedding was amazing, like so much singing and dancing. Like, there was this full sequence of, like,
see
rolling,
Paul McCann?
Yeah,
Suits?
they were. Yes.
Yeah.
Do you want to get married?
I do.
Oh, okay. Well, we have a wedding.
I want to get married, but the view of what I want has changed. Like, when I was in my long-term relationship with my ex, I always thought that maybe we would have the big wedding or a big engagement party, and we'd have, like, this massive 150-person wedding where we could, celebrate with everyone we know and invite every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Now it's the opposite. I want to save my money. Fuck paying for all you mob to come. Like, no. I'm going to save my money. I'm going to go with my partner, whoever that is, go to a resort in, like, the Greek islands and, like, be in
the best honeymoon.
Be in Santorini with 5 of my best friends and just be at a resort for a week, celebrate love, and then come home and host, like, a warehouse party as, like, a celebration of our love.
Yeah.
Where we're not catering for your food. It's not like this $100,000 wedding. These days, you can't even get married for less than, I would say, $50,000, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm studying to become a marriage celebrant. So I'm kind of like...
Would you do mine?
Research. Well, how crazy is to think, like, this is the whole thing. The Big Tinder Wedding came from talking about the plebiscite and the fact that, 6
Marriage
years
equality,
ago, like, we couldn't... Same-sex people couldn't get married. And it's crazy. Like, I just think... Given you talking about it, you're going to marry whoever you marry, like same sex, unless you immediately turn straight. I don't know.
You want to know
maybe
something
one
really
day.
interesting? I met someone who was a female who I was attracted to.
Tickled his fancy. Wow.
Last night.
So maybe you will go.
And
just joking.
I have a partner and, like, I'm monogamous, right? Like, I'm with my man. But I met a woman last night that made me feel things, and I was like, what is happening? I was sitting opposite her at the table and I was like, why am I attracted to her? She was just beautiful and her personality, and we connected, and I was like, wow, like, I mean, not in a romantic way, just as, like, she was hot. She looked
I'm kind of offended, like, you're not attracted to me?
No, girl, she looked like fucking Delta Goodrum.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
like,
white and blonde. I know your type now. Fuck.
No. Okay, this has gone down the wrong road.
No, I get
Let's get back to the
plebiscite.
highway of love.
Let's talk about marriage equality. Like, we've come so far, but yet we have so much to go.
Yeah.
But it's amazing that, I read into the statistics, and I have learnt so much through my marriage celebrancy course. Actually, apparently you can marry your auntie and uncle.
What?
Yeah, legally you can marry that like, the way that the family line works, you can marry your mum's
in Tasmania. Yes. No.
It's
everywhere.
Actually legit. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. If you would want to. But who's got, like, I mean, there's some people out there that,
Okay, I got a question on this. Have you ever kissed a cousin?
Oh,
what? What?
No, okay, so
Come on, tell me, because I've had this conversation this week with someone close to me about, like, family, like when you were younger and teenagers, and like what did you do? Was there any moments where like you explored with your cousin? And I'm going to say absolutely not. Like I didn't do any of that. But I've heard some stories this week and I'm like, holy fuck, people like really go down that road of like kissing and exploring with their cousins. They're cousins.
I have like never like, but I had like a 2-week boyfriend and we held hands.
Yeah.
And then later we were at a family gathering and my like boyfriend, like I'm talking about high school, by the way. Like I'm like 13.
Yeah.
Was there and my aunties were yarning and you know, they were like, oh yeah, this is Brooke, this is Sienna's daughter, and you know, that is someone's brother. Yeah, they're first cousins. And I actually was like, wait, so like this guy's actually related to me. And I just like
close,
and anyways, I broke up with him, but like we only held hands, so it's fine.
Well, do you want to get married one day?
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
Passionately. Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
Yes. I want to get married. But yes.
We get so silly in studio.
Yeah, see? Put us both in the same studio and we start making like sexual noises.
When I don't know where this is going. So I have a plan to have
bad, right?
2 weddings. So I have a plan and I don't know where my life will take me. Tomorrow it's a new day. Every day is different. So I want to have like an intimate wedding, 25 people, Uluru, longitude 31.
All right, money bags?
I know, $5,000 a night, minimum 3 nights. No.
So you and all your wealthy friends, I won't be invited.
No, you, babe, I've already got you on the list. You're already sharing a room with Daniel.
Oh,
yeah.
Darling, I can't, I don't know.
Not Danny, Daniel, which is my other best man.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't think I can afford that.
You don't have to pay for it.
You're paying for it.
Yeah, I'm trying to lock in a deal, sis. Anyways, I'd have an intimate Uluru wedding, so that would be the ceremony, and that would be like a very intimate, you know, where all the speeches happen, you know, like all the deep
camel rides.
Maybe camel ride, you know, we're there for
coming
3
down
nights.
the aisle on a camel.
Yeah, maybe.
Spitting at the people.
And then the second is a big open ceremony for the mob, you know? Not even like they get to come to the ceremony. There's no reception. There's just like a bit of an after party for like close friends and family. But, you know, so that they can stop complaining about funerals and come to a wedding.
Yeah.
Because that was what happened when I was at a funeral during Christmas, was that all the aunties were like, Barb, when you're getting married, we need a wedding, not a funeral.
Lots of funerals, not many weddings.
Lots of funerals, I know.
Yeah.
Because we don't have that many ceremonies these days.
Yeah.
I know.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's my feels on marriage. I would like to get married. I don't think I'd be getting married anytime soon. Like I've got to start saving, obviously, for $5,000 a night. But yeah, do you think my 2 weddings is selfish?
No, I think you do you. Like as long as it's paid for, I'll be there. But
that's what I'm making it easy for everyone, you know?
I love that.
I already got like everything sorted. That's what I said to like whoever I end up with. Like you just have to rock up, write your poxy vows, be on time and wear whatever you want to.
And wear a deadly dress or suit.
Either either.
You know what? My boyfriend always goes to the park and does like the bars, like the calisthenics. And I always think the only people there are hot people, right? There's always sexy men, shirts off, like eyecandy.com. And I go for my runs and I'm like running, doing my 5Ks, and I always run past. And I'm telling you, if there was a man there talking to my man, I'd be running straight in there. I'd be like, excuse me, what's going on here? Not that I'm like a jealous person, but I always think one of my fears is what happens when your boyfriend meets someone and then they like them more? Because it hasn't happened to me.
Because it's very common, right, in the dating experience, but that if something's shinier, you want to go for it.
No, but it's never happened for me. I have shiny people all the time in front of me. I never want to interact with them like that.
If you're in it, you're in it. Like,
Yeah. You're locked in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to lock your boyfriend up or what?
No. I mean, you know what's so fucking interesting? My boyfriend, and this isn't gassing him up, but he's so hot that we literally go down the street and people beep their cars, yell out their windows, and I've experienced this multiple times.
Are you sure it's not also you guys just walking together? Like, you're both hot. Like,
maybe, but literally men, other Latino men just will start yelling out in Spanish to him, and I'm like, is this what I have to deal with for the rest of my life?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's and he's got this sex appeal that is just someone wants to chuck him in their car and take him home.
I mean, that's a sleigh.
It's a sleigh. Yeah, it's a sleigh.
Yeah.
But
so
you know what? My partner's moved in with me recently, so I feel like everything is going really smoothly. Everything is great.
In the flow.
And we've been sort of on and off dating for a while, behind closed doors. It was
yeah.
We had
kept
our
it
moment.
Private.
Yeah, we kept it private. And everything still is going smooth. And we have our check-ins. Nearly every week we'll check in with each other. How are you feeling? Is it going well? And I feel like we just have this really easy connection there's no pressure. And I was talking to my therapist, I was like, why does it feel like the honeymoon period is not ending? And he's like, that's a really good sign, that it's lasted this long. But also, what are your needs, are you expressing all of your needs to your partner? And is that where then the tension comes in? But for me, I don't have much dating experience. So I was in a relationship for 6 years.
Yeah.
Got out of a relationship for a year and a bit. And now I'm back in a relationship. So it feels and in that year, I didn't date. I don't really know what that's like. But I feel like you have the experience of dating. Is dating easy or hard for you?
So, okay, I talk to my girlfriends about this all the time because dating, I feel like a lot of people go into dating thinking that they're going to find the one. But I think some people need to take dating as a different approach where it's just you're finding out what you want really. Just be okay with just dating and not being the one. Yeah. Don't put that pressure. And I think I would have told myself this years ago. I probably wouldn't have done The Bachelorette if that was the case. You know what I mean? If someone had told me this. Okay. Because I feel like that's just so much pressure on that person and on the relationship instantly. Yeah.
But you know what they say?
What?
In life, they say, everyone, there are these different versions of love, right? Where it's you have your real passionate love where it's high highs, low lows. It's the big feelings. So when there's passion there's chemistry, but they're not safe. They fuck you around a bit.
I've dated that. Yeah.
And then there's the good guy who's the safe, but you don't get that chemistry, that ignition, that passionate love, that great D. No, but that chemistry is not the why you're there. You're there because you want calm. And safety.
Calm is good. Calm is good. And that's what everyone was saying.
Do you sacrifice the big love, the fucking crazy feelings for the nice guy?
Well, I think I have it in both now. I feel like I met a person who is the same as me. And maybe a year ago, I think I spoke about this on another episode where I wrote an 80-point list of things that I wanted in a partner, and they were fucking ridiculous. And all my friends were like, Brooke, this is just you.
Yeah.
I wanted to date a version of myself.
Yeah. Well, you know what? When you meet someone who is that, for instance, what you're looking for, or is at the same point in their life as you, which is my scenario right now.
Timing is everything as well.
Timing is everything.
Yeah.
So when I first started dating the guy that I'm with now, in the beginning of our relationship, we did all the things that we now don't want in our relationship. So we basically tested the waters for all the bad shit.
Really?
Yeah.
So you got it out of your system.
Got it out of our system. And we had this amazing, we had a break. So we already did the break thing. And this is early on in the relationship where we went, nah, this isn't working. When we had our break, we missed each other a lot. And when we came back together, the conversation that we had was all these things that happened in our relationship and the things that we were doing that we really don't want in our relationship have to go. And they all went. And we were committed to having those things leave. So that's why it's been so successful. And I feel like we've started at the same start line. And like I've never been in a position like that.
Started at the same start line is like huge. Because I think people think like...
And you're on a journey together.
Yeah. Like you're walking beside one another, not like one's up here and one's up.
Yeah,
You know?
and to be able to know what you don't want in a relationship is powerful.
See, that would work for most people, and then sometimes it might not work for others. Like I feel like love is really definitely undefined. I fucking wrote a book about it. I should know it. But like I think timing for me is just like crazy because if you want it so bad, it's not going to happen. And it's sometimes it's always like when you don't want it, it happens. When you least expect it, it happens. It's like, fuck, you can't even just like, you can't plan for these things sometimes. No. But I mean, it sounds like in your situation, like you guys put sort of like boundaries and like things in place because you wanted it. You're on the same level, your same mindset, the same.
And in my past, my ex was 5 years in front of me. He was 5 years older. Yeah. So it was always me playing catch up. When you're not on the same journey as someone, there's always someone who feels left behind and someone who always feels they have to like step up or, you know, or bring you up. And that like disparity causes a lot of issues and tensions because you're not like on the same wavelength. And so with my relationship now, I can feel that totally. I can feel that we are walking together side by side in the same direction. And like to feel that feels great because that's where there's no pressure. Now so it feels easy. Yeah. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually love these conversations with you so much because I feel like we're just like having like a cup of tea at home.
My little piece of advice, because I'm in like a really good place at the moment in terms of like done the work and I feel like I'm like in my relationship like in a really strong place, is keep the check-ins happening. Like figure out if you're still walking in the same direction. Like, and I feel like one thing that I took away from listening to another podcast was that, like, we don't have to be everything for our partners. We can't be. So, like, instead of, you know, for me, I know that my partner can't be everything for me, but I know that he's a good person.
Yeah, exactly.
And I can see that. So that's what I hold on to, even in the moments of tension.
I think that's what I struggled with, like, with Noel, I guess, because, like, I have, like, such a good community in Melbourne, like, friends. Yeah. And, like, it was, like, I was everything for him. Yeah. And I felt like that pressure of like having to be that. Yeah. And it was very uncomfortable and very like, just not a good feeling. This is like so mean. I just feels like so horrible. Am I a horrible person?
I think you're very open in terms of your heart and I think you allow people in. And I think that like, I think it's a good thing because for me, I'm actually at the opposite end of the spectrum. Like I really am. I'm quite closed when it comes to connection. And it takes a lot for me to find that. And I think I would like to be more like you in terms of being open and able to receive that connection. But
I don't know because it gets really like overwhelming when you deal with so many like I'm such an emotional person. I mean, right now I feel very like stable and happy and like giddy and excited and like in this like childlike kind of like mentality. But check in a week's time.
But thank you, Mob, for listening to us today. This is First Things First. If you love what you hear, leave us a rating or a little review.
If you want us to cover anything on the pod, reach out via our socials. My handle is Brooke.Blurton and Maddie's handle is @It'sMaddieMills. All right. And we'll see you next week.
Catch ya, lovers.
Bye.